greetings and welcome to topic 5. This topic we will look at the ways of measuring and reporting on the success and challenges experienced within Pacific Youth Advocacy and community service initiatives and why this is important. Much Pacific youth work takes place under the umbrella of governmental or non-governmental organizations. In either case, they may be funders, individuals, institutions or groups who financially in other ways support the initiative and may appreciate knowing the impact of those investments. You yourself, whether a project coordinator or an individual, may be equally concerned on whether or not you are having an impact towards your organization's objectives. Being able to clearly measure and then demonstrate the outcomes of a community service project can serve to validate existing support while generating further support financially in volunteers or more. This topic we will look and consider the nature of goal setting and how to effectively measure and report on these goals. Different people and organizations define and measure success in very different ways. It is important from the start of any initiative that the core participants openly discuss and agree to what success looks like. Without a clear idea of success and how we measure, it can be different to make smart use of the limited resources and time available for specific youth and community advocacy initiatives. Smart goals are those that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So-called SMART goals can help to provide structure for your organization or initiative and meaning to your actions. Achieving a certain policy change involving a certain number of people in programming or an event, or raising a targeted amount of money for a cause are all examples of specific goals. In this case, you can easily measure whether or not you have achieved this goal. Did you raise the 100,000 you set out to raise? Did the policy get passed? Did 100 or more people come to your event? Goals that are specific are also much easier to measure and quantify. You can even add quantifiable measurements to broader goals. For example, within the goal of changing a policy, you may want to contact 50 government representatives or get 500 signatures on a petition. As you contact and gain signatures, you can easily keep track of momentum towards your goals. Setting goals that are attainable is equally important, but this can be difficult to determine. Often in Pacific Youth Advocacy, we do not feel to do things because they are easy to do, because we feel it is the right thing to do. Often the right thing to do can lead us down a long and hard journey with no clear end in sight. For example, ending poverty is a noble goal, but is it attainable? Now, lifting 10 families above the poverty line is a goal that is very specific, measurable, and more attainable than simply ending poverty. While you are working towards ending poverty in the global sense, by starting locally and with a few families, you can begin to generate momentum and a movement for change. Goals that are relevant are also important to consider, especially when engaging Pacific youth in community advocacy. Goals must be relevant to Pacific youths and their interests so that they are engaged and passionate. Work with Pacific youth to set realistic and relevant goals that they can understand, appreciate, and work towards. Finally, setting the goals that are time-bound is especially important when working with Pacific youth. After all, Pacific youth themselves are time-bound and won't stay young forever. A time-bound goal is one that you aim to accomplish within a certain length of time. For example, lifting 10 families above the poverty line by the end of this year makes our previously stated goal time-bound. Setting goals that Pacific youth can see achieved in a certain time frame can inspire hope and confidence and encouragement towards more loftier goals in the future. If goals are not time-bound, it can be hard to plan a related and relevant timeline of action-oriented steps required for their completion. And circling back to measurable goals, you may find that it can be difficult to accurately quantify the benefits or components of your initiative. Quantifying your advocacy work can be difficult and add a burden of administration that you may not be able to carry. It may be more effective to integrate ways of gathering qualitative data that can more easily and accurately reflect the value of your work. For example, collecting and sharing stories and personal experiences from people who have been positively impacted can be a powerful way of measuring and reporting on the success of your initiative, and serve to persuade funders and supporters to continue their support. Hearing directly from the beneficiaries in their own words can be much more effective than simply reciting the numbers of people benefiting. The reporting component can take a variety of forms depending on the audience and the purpose, including short multimedia presentations to the more traditional annual report. Many organizations complete and present annual reports at their annual general meetings that details their organization activities over the previous year. Within these annual reports, you will likely want to include a brief overview of the organization's mission, purpose, and/or values, a short summary of past annual reports for comparison, detailed and summary financial statements, main activities, events, volunteers, and other notable accomplishments. Again, being able to capture the stories and voices of participants and Pacific youth who have participated can be a powerful reporting tool. Including photographs, video, or other audio and multimedia presentation can create an engaging and moving experience which can later be shared online to the general public to generate further support. If you are unable to measure success, you may not be able to really tell what success looks like. If you don't know what success looks like, how will you convince others to participate and be involved? Ultimately, having the ability to easily keep track of the success of your initiative can help to ensure long-term success.